How are you doing today, you guys? How are you? It's Kirsten Liebelt. It must be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time because here we are talking about insulin resistance again. This is what we do every day, Monday through Friday, unless I'm out of town or it's a holiday. I will be gone tomorrow and Friday. Happy Independence Day to everyone in the United States. And happy Canada Day for those people who just celebrated Canada Day. I love my Canadian customers, so I hope you had a really good celebration. But we are going from Minnesota out to the Black Hills of South Dakota for a few days with our family. And that's where we used to live. So it'll be very, very fun to see people. All right. So today, before we hit our holiday mode, before I come back on Monday and we do another live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then we have our challenge in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, 5-day challenge, you guys. Every single month, it's our 26th one. That's over 2 years, people. And I love that there is this blueprint that you get to walk on, that you get to actually piece together and end up with success. Good habits create success. There's a book. Have you guys ever read the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World? Has anybody read this book? He talks about the 10 scrolls. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Scroll number 1 is I will create good habits and become a slave to them. Because whatever your habits are, you become a slave to them. So you might as well create good habits. Does this make sense to anybody? And I feel like if we would understand that, there's no mystery. There's no mystery. You just create good habits and you become their slave. And then you end up with success. So a little bit. Today, what I want to talk to you guys about, oh man, I'm just telling you, when I tell you that you guys create my content, I can feel the wave that comes at me when I talk about liver. And I'm going to do it again today, but I'm going to do it in a little bit of a different way. I'm going to kind of mix and match a few things because I want you to understand insulin resistance is the trunk of the tree and it creates all of these issues. And so when you are bloated and your belly is sticking out and you're fatigued and you're just you sleep all night long and you wake up feeling trashed. Happy Independence Day, Terry. That's coming up so soon, isn't it? I'm so excited. Yeah, we're going to go have some fun. Parades and rodeos and all the things out in the Black Hills. Anyway, when you feel this way, you guys, it's what has happened from the insulin resistance in your liver. Your liver is just burdened. It's literally like a sludgy oil situation in your vehicle. It's the clogged filter. You're not moving toxins. You're not getting impacted waste to move through your body. And your body is just on the struggle bus. So I really want to address this today because I have had so many messages from a post that I did yesterday, the day before yesterday. I'm still fielding conversations with this on the liver, but I'm having people reach out to me going, I've been diagnosed with NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And it's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease because it used to only be in alcoholics 60 years ago. Do you understand? So now we have a food issue that's creating the exact same thing as what was being created by alcohol 60 years ago. I really hope people are just tracking just take that one little nugget and just think about that for 2 seconds. Just pause and go, how is this possible that our standard American diet is creating something that used to only be created by alcohol? What does alcohol have a lot of in it? Sugar? Grain? Tracking? Okay, so we're going to talk about this a little bit. I'm so excited about this. I want to tell you about this on the front end. This is a free blueprint for you. I worked on this yesterday. So I was a little AOL in my stories because I was spending all this time trying to figure out how to turn this into a proper PDF and get it posted for you guys. And I'm like, technology, OMG. Anyway, it just is what it is, I guess. So I basically have I wanted to take, remember we've talked about the protein, like the protein formula, like that's one thought process. Another second would be like how many grams of protein are in different individual foods. Number three, what kind of proteins to be eating when you're insulin resistant, because they're not all created the same and we don't want to be spiking sugars and calling on insulin. And I put it all in one area, one little PDF for you. So if you go to kirstenliebelt.com, my first last name.com, you will see my picture. And right here, you're going to see that button. It's right there. It's right there. Yes, everything else is down there, but it's right there. Okay. And it says banish, bloat, and burn fat protein blueprint. Okay. So when I click on that, what I'm going to see then is, let's see, how do I want to open this? I'm on a Android. I'm going to open it that way. Okay. So basically, what type of protein? The protein rule. Is it lean or fat forward? There's a graph in here that will give you, I don't know if you can't read it, I know, but it's a graph that'll show you different types of protein and whether or not they are lean or fat forward, because you might be in fat loss mode. And then kind of like a liver loving day, kind of what would that look like, et cetera. And then just the different resources that I talk about on a regular basis. But once you're on my site, my first last name.com, you can also jump into the Facebook group through there. You can do all sorts of things. So there we go. So I'm going to talk to you. That's the food portion. Okay. And we talk about this all the time. I teach grain, sugar, and legume free, but still how to be a foodie, because I'm Italian and that was really important to me and it still is. So basically that's kind of that conversation. But what I wanted to do today was I wanted to talk about how, you've got this whole belly thing going on and you are very, very tired. You're fatigued. You sleep and you wake up and you still feel like you've been hit by a bus and you cannot shake it and you don't know why, or you just can't budge 1 pound. You're like, I've had many people reach out to me saying, listen, I've lost 10 pounds, I've lost 20 pounds, but I've stalled out. Here is your unstaller. That's not the word, but here is your acceleration past what you've been doing already. Okay. So now this happens a lot with people. You're using food. This is perfect. This excites me very much. Sometimes you have to tweak it a little more. Go and look for that banish, bloat, burn fat blueprint. Go look at that because it'll help you with your protein. That'll help you tweak. And then a lot of you end up then deciding to use supplementation to accelerate, to kind of like jump like this, right? To kind of rocket yourself a little bit more. Now, did you know that 4 out of 10 adults already have fat in their liver? 4 out of 10 have a fatty liver. Most never feel it. They never feel it until labs or an ultrasound scream, fatty liver. Like that's just reality. There aren't a lot of symptoms and they're kind of not super loud necessarily, right? 9 out of 10 people that already have fatty liver also show insulin resistance markers. The two ride together like Bonnie and Clyde, baby. So this is not a separate issue. Remember when I say it's all connected, it's all connected, it's all connected. Insulin resistance is creating this issue. But this issue is the one that you're hearing about when you finally hear about something at the doctor's office. You're finally hearing somebody say, oh, it looks like you have fatty liver. Okay. But rarely will you go to a doctor and they say, we're going to take a fasting insulin test and see if you have high insulin. And then we're going to talk to you about insulin resistance and how to eat for that. That's very uncommon, right? They are always talking to you about things that are way down the road when they could have done this first, but they don't. So now I have to go down the road. I'm trying to get you to deal with it here. I'm trying to get you to wake up here when your insulin is high and you don't even know it yet, and you don't have to have a lab to tell you it's high. What are your symptoms of insulin resistance? You've got brain fog, your belly is growing, you've got skin tags, you've got dark patches, you've got, you're waking up at 4 a.m. and you can't go back to sleep, and all of these things. You're just gaining weight and you can't deal with it. And That's way back here, and they could have done something, but they didn't. So now I have to jump with you all the way over here where you just got diagnosed. I'm sorry. I'm trying the best I can. I'm only one person. Share out the information. That's why I tell you, share, share, share. Tell people. You see somebody that's 37 years old, 42 years old, and you're like, writing is on the wall. You might be insulin resistant. Share out the information. There's no shame in this circle. We do this without shame, okay? Point being that now I'm going to go out here where you're getting diagnosed, and you're getting diagnosed with fatty liver, okay? So this is what happens. Extra carbs create repeated insulin spikes, and it doesn't matter where the carbs are coming from. Yes, of course, there are good, there are carbs in practically everything other than like meat and eggs. Even onions and garlic have carbs. Carbs in onions and garlic are lots different than carbs that are in ultra processed food. Like, I'm not confused by that. But you could be eating sweet potatoes and raising your sugars. Just like you're eating a granola bar and it's like a candy bar, and you're lying to yourself, telling yourself that it's healthy, right? Like, I get that, right? That's like, I'm just raising my hand with you, people. Raising my hand. I literally was just lecturing myself in a very nice and unshameful way. Like yesterday, about just a few like habits that I've got going on. I'm like, stop lying to yourself, girl. Like, fix that, clean it up, clean it up. So anyway, extra carbs equals repeated insulin spikes. Your liver turns sugar to fat. Your liver turns sugar to fat. Fat clogs the liver like grease in a drain. Okay, your liver turns glucose into fat, and it's like grease in a drain. A clogged liver cannot burn fat. Everybody just say these things with me. Repeat after me. Put it in the comments. A clogged liver cannot burn fat. A clogged liver cannot detox hormones. A clogged liver cannot keep your blood sugar steady. This is why people end up feeling tired and inflamed, and the weight loss stalls out. Tracking? Is this making sense? The cycle feeds on itself. Fatty liver, even more insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and heart risk. Fatty liver, even more insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and heart risk. I want everybody to hear this, okay? This is the information that you need before a long weekend. You can meditate on this. All right, so step one, pull the fuel line. Pull the fuel line. Got it? This is what that means. Are you ready? You already probably know what I'm going to say. No grain, no sugar, no legumes. It lowers insulin within days. You guys, stop trying to live on the edges of your envelopes. Stop pushing that envelope and living on the fringes and going, you know what? I eat 80% clean. I get it. Listen, it took me 3 to 4 years to trade out my foods. I am not putting anybody down who is in transition, but keep it in the back of your mind. I have to fully transition. You're not just going to sort of transition for all of eternity future. That's not the goal. You will never make the progress you want to make. You will never learn how to fish. You'll just be on a hamster wheel and you'll be so dang frustrated, okay? So you got to pull that fuel line. Number 2, you have to heal the gut liver super highway. You have to heal this liver gut conversation, okay? Because it's messed up, but it's messed up because the trunk of the tree is insulin resistance, okay? So 70% of liver blood comes straight from the intestine. Fix the gut, lighten the liver load. I'll repeat that. 70% of liver blood comes straight from your intestines. Fix the gut, lighten the liver load. Okay, next one. You can do targeted supplementation. Like I said, some people start with food and then they reach out to me and they go, okay, I've changed out my foods, but I've stalled, or I've sort of changed out my foods. I need another step. I've stalled. And oftentimes that's when you begin to introduce supplementation, because you're like trying to like Either you're trying to accelerate that process. You're kind of like, oh, I got to get that filter cleaned out. I've got to get that clog unclogged. It's like putting a snake in your drain, so to speak. And you need to do that. And you understand you have to literally help like lift up the support of your liver and your gut. So that's what we end up doing. So I know that it can be really confusing sometimes. And I feel like I can feel it. I can feel it in my conversations with people. There's kind of like this question mark in your head of like, oh, I don't know where to start. I don't really know what this, I'm confused, so I will do nothing. A confused mind does nothing because, oh God, if you even understood how much I understand this, I'm going to liken this to, and then I'm going to give you actual answers for supplementation. Okay. But I want you to understand why. In 2020, I was already creating some content around hormones, etc. I have my own testimony about taking adaptogenic herbs starting in my upper 40s and how they literally balanced my hormones. And I had no idea. Adapt to what? Like I didn't even know what that was. Even when I was taking it, I didn't know what it was. I was very disconnected from my body and I had no thought process towards natural nothing. I was like, give me the potato chips, Trader Joe's, please, salt and pepper kettle chips, and maybe some Milk Duds. Like that was me. Okay. That was not 10 years ago, completely different person. That was a 2X. So I start taking adaptogenic herbs and I have this testimony and I'm just like, oh my gosh, women need to hear this. They need to know that they're not crazy, yada, yada. But when I began to talk about insulin resistance, that's when I really felt like the wave of help me, help me, help me was really coming. And I stepped into a more singular hormone, insulin. Insulin as a hormone is a fat storing hormone. And it's very, very, like it's just not talked about enough. This is ridiculous. Why do we have to fight so freaking hard to get such basic information? That's how I feel now. Like this is stupid. But this could be way more simple. But by the time we even know anything about our own insulin resistance, because they're not pulling fasting insulin tests, we have fatty liver disease, NAFLD, we have high blood sugars, and it's just med after med after med, because they're just waiting until you get to a certain point so they can put you on a suite of medication. And that is very challenging. And I am not a doctor. I'm literally just your girlfriend talking to you about a few of the things that I have sourced for myself, right? So that particular content changed so much for me because I was able to really share a lot of my story and my background of my dad dying of type 2 diabetes when he was 63 years old, how I was raised in an Italian family, and there's just obesity and type 2 everywhere. And this resonates with so many people because we're all running around getting our labs checked and getting all these answers, and they're not giving us any natural conversations to be had. So I want to make sure that a confused mind does nothing. In 2020, when I started to take on a little more heavier social media and I was learning mode, my brain hurt for an entire year. So I understand being like, okay, never mind. Like, okay, never mind. I mean, I understand. Confused mind, just put it down. Does nothing. And I had to fight that and I had to push through, and you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to say, no, I am going to figure this out for me. I'm going to take what I can take, because brain fog is a symptom of everything we talk about. So is it any wonder that maybe our brain fog keeps us from moving forward or from understanding so that we can move forward? And so I really, really do understand. And even yesterday, as I was putting together that blueprint that I was talking about, it's on my website, by the way, kirstenliebelt.com, my first last name.com. And it's banish, bloat, and burn fat protein blueprint. Okay. And as I was putting that together yesterday and I'm tweaking and then I'm trying to turn it into a PDF and whatever, I powered through, but I was like, oh, my brain needs a rest, right? So I do get it. I've learned a few skills though for myself to power through. So let's see if you can power through just a tiny bit today, okay? I'm gonna have you power through just a little bit. So I talk about a bunch of key products and how they help your liver. And isn't it interesting that seriously, everything, the only one that is helping the sugars and the insulin, that's the one that's out of stock. I inventoried in my home. And everything else is doing it by, so you can always reach out to me for that too. I can mail it out, but I am leaving town today. So I shouldn't have maybe not have said anything, but anyway, I can run to the post office. If you do not get down your insulin and your sugars, you're on this hamster wheel. You have to fix what got you into the pickle to begin with food. And you have to start to bring down your insulin and your sugars in order to stop the production of fat that's going around your organs and in your liver, et cetera. Okay. But then because we wait until the medical community waits until they can diagnose you with NAFLD. They don't talk to you about anything ahead of time usually. Now we have to deal with liver. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So when I talk about the trio, those are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This one right here helps with the liver. So I'm going to just put these 2 down for just a second. This is the one that's out of stock. It's the glucose product. I feel like I've got a hair like on it's not attached, but I feel like I've got a hair right. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Okay. I'll stop touching my chin. So funny. So this is for your liver. Okay. So this one, because of the ingredients, this would be like, this has silymarin in it, along with like milk thistle and dandelion, all the good things, right? But it lowers liver enzymes and it improves histology in NAFLD patients, antioxidant and anti-fibrotic. Now, what does that mean? It just means that, like, for instance, I have a customer who, after taking this twice a day for 45 days, she cut her liver enzymes in half. Now, that's what that means to you. And then there's an attached study to that. I'll post some of this stuff like in that liver list that I give you. But anyway, but that is one layer of help. Another layer of help would be the turmeric that I take. I take all of this, you guys. This is how I know that these are the pieces of why I feel the way that I do. I'm the only one in my family to have avoided type 2 diabetes. I did it with supplementation and food alone. I've never been on a med. I should not have been the one to avoid it because I was gestational diabetic when I was in my 20s with my first baby. And then I was hypoglycemic with my second baby. Like, I should have been the one. Okay. So I just want you to know, because I understood these pieces as I went, super clueless on the front end, like, I have lost 3 sizes in my 50s because these are the keys. These are the keys. Like, I'm just telling you, it's an internal job. So turmeric, this is the turmeric that I take. Now, most turmeric is not readily absorbable into your system. So you could be taking turmeric all over the place and it's not doing jack squat for you. You may or may not know that. It's just not a very absorbable nutrient. But this one is 45 times more absorbable. So I take 2 of these at night, every single night. However, curcumin, which is in your turmeric, it can improve ALT, AST, lipids, BMI in NAFLD. It's anti-inflammatory and it may cut liver fat according to different studies. And again, they posted the studies. It's PubMed, etc. But the point being that it's really bringing down that information and helping your liver to move forward. The third thing is the gut primer. We talk about this literally every day. I'm not even going to talk to you about the probiotic today. I'm just going to bring to knowledge the gut primer. Looks like a greens product. It is not. It is a comprehensive 6 products in 1 tub. I've got this in a glass jar ready to go for me because I'm leaving town. This will not stay home. Okay. So this will help your liver health, like, level up big time. It tastes like tea. It's very turmeric-y, gingery, tea-like, green tea-like. I put it in cold water and I take it like a wellness shot in the morning. I froth it up, about maybe this much water, and I just down it. Okay. So that's how I take it. I'm just not a tea person. So, but this will stay with me because, oh my gosh, you guys, I can travel without bloat. I don't get constipated on road trips. I'm about to take a 12-hour road trip 2 different ways. Like, we're going to take 6 hours to North Dakota, stay overnight because we're picking up my mother-in-law, 6 hours to the Black Hills. And then on Sunday, we're doing all 12 coming back. no constipation. Anything like if I'm eating off, like I'm eating maybe out more, I'm not eating whatever. It has one of the 6 is a digestive enzyme. So anyway, my point being, but what I want to say about this is that pre and pro symbiotics reduce your liver enzymes and inflammatory cytokines in NAFLD via the gut-liver axis. Gut-liver axis. Okay, so that's when I talk to you guys about the primer. It's just something that I don't live without. I had one customer who immediately had such relief. She would not, and I'm not, no joke, she would not evacuate from her Florida home to Miami, Florida, because that's where they had to go for the hurricanes last fall without it. Like she just wouldn't do it. I talk about magnesium all the time. This is the 4th one. And then there's one more. The magnesium that I talk about, this is a triple blend and I take it at night. I take 2 of the turmeric and 2 of the magnesium at night. This I take in the morning. This is at the beginning of your day. Okay. The turmeric, I'll show you how I do this. I'm taking the liver support and the gut primer at the beginning of my day. I'm taking the magnesium and the turmeric at the end of my day, 2 of each of these. But as a magnesium, this has 2 forms of glycinate. So it's a bisglycinate and malate forms. Low serum Mg correlates with higher NAFLD risk. So you definitely want magnesium to be like, you can't even imagine. I think there are like 300 to 400 functions in your body that need magnesium, and we're just super low on magnesium. It is what it is, but it can fix a myriad of things, okay? But having low magnesium, low serum magnesium is connected with a higher non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and adequate magnesium supports your glucose. Did you know that? Magnesium is helping to support your glucose levels and your fat metabolism, okay? And then the very last one, and I know maybe this is a lot, trying not to make it be too much, but I talk about this one all the time, and that is the orange pixie stick, but I'm just going to give it to you from a different perspective. You can get it through me. The turmeric, yeah, you can get that through me. I can actually send you a link if you want me to when we get off. Because your comment will go away. That's why I say that, because it's like, just does. It just does on TikTok and Instagram. This pixie stick, this is an extract that helps reduce body weight and visceral fat in clinical studies. Excess visceral fat is strongly linked to fatty liver. Okay, so what I'm appreciating, this is orange. Orange tastes like candy. I put it on my tongue every morning. Just like this, it tastes amazing. Do 90 days on and then take 30 days off because it's a thermogenic. So just as a recap, there's the liver support. Hold on. Where did I put it? Sometimes I drop them. Oh, no, it's right there. As a recap, there's the liver support. There's the turmeric. There's the primer. Magnesium, and the pixie stick. Do you understand, for all of you that are already on like the total body reset, for all of you that are on quite a few of the different supplementations, do you understand why I've sourced them the way that I have now? Do you understand what we're trying to accomplish? Like, this is so important for you, because if you understand why you're doing something, you will be consistent and actually get results. You will stay consistent long enough to see changes in your labs, in my opinion. I've been able to just watch people do that. You can stay consistent long enough to turn back your insulin resistance so that, in my opinion, you have the possibility of getting off of meds, because I've seen it. It's not because I'm claiming it. I'm just telling you, these are the testimonies that you send to me. You dropped your marbles. Did you, Julie? Did you, Julie, now? You funny girl. I know. I literally have dropped 2 now as I'm sitting here. My husband laughs at me. He's like, honey, there's another supplement on the floor. I'm like, yeah. I know. I mean, I pick them up in between, but I'm like, I don't know. It's just a hand-eye coordination thing. I'm getting better every day, right? That's what I'm going to say. And so I want you to know, like, what you are doing for yourself is like so far beyond the fact that you're going to lose a few pounds, which I, of course, want you to. But if you can get your internal system to get a little detailed, wow. I mean, honestly, when you wake up and you don't feel like you've been hit by a truck, when you feel your weight movement again, like it takes another surge of weight loss, and you're like, whoo, man, I was concerned there for a minute. I wasn't going to lose anything ever again. When all of a sudden, that impacted waste moves and the toxins move and the brain fog begins to clear, and like things happen when you actually treat your liver the way you're supposed to. And so 2 things, and then I'm done for today. 3 things. Number 1, the next challenge starts Monday, July 7th in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will go live every day. Okay. Second thing is that if you want the Banish the Bloat and Burn Fat protein guide, you can go to my site. And on my site, which is my first and last name, KirstenLiebelt.com, you will see my picture. Looks just like this. Okay, right there, that button right there. Want that one right there at the top. Like there's no confusion. Yes, there's everything else down there for you. That one right there. You just click on that. It's downloading the file, asking me where I want to open it. And literally, this is going to give you the why this type of protein that I'm recommending. The protein rule, is it lean or fat forward, so that you can actually lose weight. Gives you examples of things that are lean or fat forward. Gives you a daily example of how to hit, like, I think 110 grams, whatever. That's a really low, just basic. And gives you a lot of those pieces so that you have it all in one place. The last thing that I'll mention, and we'll be done for today, is I am so impressed by how many of you are choosing to get that $75 back. And the way that anybody can do that is you do have to be a registered customer. And then when you purchase $150 for 3 months in a row, you'll get $75 off on your 3rd month. And nobody else is doing this for you that I'm aware of. If they are, let me know. But that I'm aware of, nobody else is doing that for you. And so I'm very excited about that. They launched this in March, and I'm like, I know this is really good, and I hope people see this, but listen, you're finally in a position where somebody's going to pay you back for your choice to get healthy, for your choice to prioritize your wellness. And you will not be sad when in 6 months you feel better, you look different, you're on a track, because you can tell that your body is shifting and changing. It could be inches that are being lost, pounds that are being lost, better labs, off of meds, brain fog gone, you're sleeping at night, you've moved that impacted waist, you don't walk around with constipation everywhere. Like, it could go on and on and on. There are so many benefits to actually dealing with this internal system that is going on. And it's all connected to one thing: insulin resistance. And how frustrating is this? That nobody that I know of in the medical community, that's not true, because I follow a lot in the medical community. So I take that back. Few in the medical community are bold enough to actually attack the root and to actually help their patients avoid meds, get off of meds. They're just not trained in that arena. They're not trained. So I hope you feel empowered and inspired and encouraged. And I hope you can take this weekend for the 4th of July. And number 1, don't be so hard on yourself. But number 2, maybe use this time to be you are either on the total offense and you're like, oh, no problem. I already have my sugar-free barbecue sauce waiting for me. No problem. I already know how to go to a barbecue and not eat all of the carbs and the sugar, but to focus on, the protein. No problem. I already know the keto lemon blueberry bars that I'm making, and I'm bringing them to the family reunion. No problem. you've got it dialed in. But then there are some of you that are like, listen, this is so new to me. I don't even freaking know what to do with myself. And I think what I would say to that is if you're in the group already, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, in the featured section, I wonder if it's still there because they're deleting live videos after 30 days. I think it would still be there. It'll still be there because we're at the beginning of the week. Go into the featured section if you're in the group and just watch some of the replays from the beginning of June for the 5-day challenge that is free. We talk about ingredient trade outs, and I feel like you will be very encouraged and resourced. Okay. But then last but not least, don't be so hard on yourself as you're trying to process some of this information, as you're trying to, if you're the person who's texted me, many of you have recently, and you've said, I just got diagnosed with NAFLD. This is brand new to me. What the heck do I do now? Like, just take a deep breath and just know that you can change everything, in my opinion, by the food that you eat and the way that you supplement. You don't have to throw spaghetti at the wall anymore. You actually can have clear answers. And I will help you walk through that one little nugget at a time, one little like adding to your repertoire at a time. This is why it's an actual blueprint, and it's why people get so much success with it. They're like, your program has changed my life. And it was just born out of my own experience, right? Born out of my own journey. Okay. So if you need anything while I'm gone, feel free to reach out, ask me questions. If you need to set up an account, you don't know, maybe something, tripped you up or whatever, or you want it on auto ship and you don't know how to do that. I always give away prizes every month to my auto ship people. I pull names. Anyway, just don't hesitate. Okay. A confused mind does nothing. Don't sit in confusion today. Don't do that. All right. I'm so excited for the 4th of July. Everybody have the best day ever on the face of the planet. I'll see you Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Bye.